Hello everybody and welcome to this Verbling class. Today's class is a reading and speaking class and it's called How to Restore Sanity to Your Day. So it's talking basically about those moments in your day at work or maybe at home where you get really stressed. How do you overcome them? What do you do? And is there a way that you can get through them? So we're going to read an article to practice our pronunciations, to learn some new words. And then we're also going to discuss the techniques that we read about, but also discuss our own advice and techniques for these kind of things. So if you would like to join us, you're very welcome to come along in. And while we're waiting for everybody, if you're new to Verbling, or perhaps if you've been here a while but you just don't know everything yet, I'm going to share with you a couple of pages that you can go and check out during your coffee break. Just which give you a little bit more information about me. All of the Verbling teachers have this page. It's called a Verbling teacher page. And basically it's where you can go if you would like to find out more about any of the teachers. If you're interested in attending more of our classes, you can see our schedule. If you're interested in having a private tutoring sessions, which is when you spend time just one-on-one with the teacher, and you can focus on everything that you want to focus on rather than a class atmosphere, then you can also see the schedule of the teacher on their Verbling teacher page and book a class directly from there. And also you can have a look at some class clips and watch the introductory video and find out a little bit more about all of us. So do head over to the teacher page if you've never done that before. If you're a Facebook person, you might want to follow some of the teachers on Facebook. I'm sharing my Facebook page with you now. And it's maybe a good way, if you are constantly on Facebook, to keep your mind on English and remind you, or any of the other languages that you're learning on Verbling, to keep on track. So, let's say hello and see who we have this morning, or this evening, to talk about restoring sanity. So, let's say first of all hello to Virgilio. Hello. Are you there, Virgilio?
Hello, how are you?
Hi, lovely to see you. I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Virgilio, do you find that you get stressed easily during your daily life?
Not too much. I try to keep calm and face the problems with calm, you know.
Mm-hmm.
With yeah. So I try not to get nervous.
All right. So you are generally quite good at coping with stressful situations when they do happen.
I think so.
Excellent. That's good to hear. Good to have you in the class. Hopefully you can share some of your techniques with us, Virgilio.
Thank you.
Welcome. Lovely to have you. Natasha, hello. Welcome.
Hello, Amy. Hello, guys. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, Natasha. Tell me, Natasha, have you had any particularly stressful moments in your days over the past week or so that you can remember?
Yes, sadly, I have had really a lot of sad days because I have very, yes, I think that it's important job, and I sometimes I need have conversation with a lot of people, but everyone very different. Sometimes we have had a really stressful situation, and after that I really need to restore sanity.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's true. We often need to find a way of getting out of your stress. Do you have any good techniques that you use yourself, Natasha?
No, no, I couldn't say so because sometimes after such situation I need to have a restore, and at this time I like to drink a cup of tea or coffee and have a good conversation with my friend on my job as well. On the other hand, sometimes I can use internet game. It's a very stupid game, but I like it because in this moment my mind like bland.
Yes, your mind just goes blank and you don't have to think about anything, right?
Yeah. And it's really helped me because after that I have a little bit fresh mind and I have the opportunity to look at the situation other eyes and with fresh mind.
Good point. Wow, that's 3 tips already, Natasha. Thank you. I'm
Thank
typing them in the chat box today. So if you're desperate for techniques, then you might want to try out some of these. I definitely have to agree that a cup of tea is one of my absolute favourites. I am English though, so probably biased towards tea. All right, welcome, Natasha. Lovely to have you.
Thank you.
Let us say hello to Masahiro. Masahiro?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello,
I'm
lovely to meet
Masahiro
you. Masahiro.
from
Um,
Japan, Tokyo.
I was wondering if your name was Japanese. It looked a little bit Japanese. It's lovely to meet you.
You feel probably too long for Japanese name, so please,
Yeah.
please tell me just Masa.
Okay, Masa. Well, that makes it a lot easier for me. Thank you, Masa. So tell us about yourself, Masa. What do you do?
About really relief, relax my stress.
Yes.
Uh-huh. If I get a lot of stress, I usually go to Starbucks and and drink very very sweet something.
Something from Starbucks. I love it. What a
Yeah.
great idea, Masa. Do you live near a Starbucks?
Actually, I came to the U.S. San Diego
Mhm.
uh, 2 years ago. So um, there are lots of Starbucks around my house. So
Right, so you live in the US, therefore Starbucks is easily accessible to you.
yeah, that's right. So I'm really easy to relieve my stress.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing your tip with us. If anyone else lives near a Starbucks and you haven't tried this before, maybe it's worth a try.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
Masa.
You're welcome.
Um, Hello also to Magdalena.
Hello, nice to see you.
Hello, Magdalena. Have I met you before?
Yes, once.
Once. All right. Forgive me. I'm sorry. It's hard to remember when you don't have a
Okay, no
picture.
problem. Yeah,
Where
of
are you
course.
from, Magdalena?
Yeah, I'm from Poland.
Ah, I remember you now. Yes. Okay, got it.
Really?
Yes, I do. I do. So do you get easily stressed as a person?
Yeah, sometimes.
What kinds of
Well,
things make you feel stressed?
sometimes when I have to share my ideas at work, and
Okay.
we have to discuss something, or
Yep.
yeah,
Um,
do you,
so
do you hear me well?
yes, I do. Yep. Are you okay with your sound connection, Magdalena? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I think it's okay.
All right. So you mentioned when you have to share your ideas at work. What do you think is particularly stressful about that? Is it like you're worried that people won't like your ideas? Is it like public speaking that scares you? What particular aspect?
Yeah, I think it's all about public speaking and of course about, I think both, maybe,
Both.
in this
Okay.
case, yeah.
And what do you do to overcome your stress? Do you just sort of face it head on and then like go to Starbucks like Massa or?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have Starbucks
Oh
next to
no.
my
Okay, we're gonna have to come
workplace.
up backup plan. We're gonna have a backup plan for that one. So
But
what do you do, Massa? Do you find drinking a tea or a coffee helps or not really?
yeah, I think it helps, and also Yeah, I prefer talking to someone.
Okay, great. Are you still there, Magdalena?
Yeah, I think I haven't heard you. I don't know, it
Okay,
sounded
I'm
like
not sure
myself.
what's happening.
Mhm.
But don't worry, I've said hello to you. It's lovely to have you. Thank you for sharing, and we will speak to you
Okay.
again soon.
Thank you.
Ksenia, hello.
Hello,
How are you doing today?
I'm pretty fine, thank you.
Good, glad to hear it. Tell us about your stress busting techniques, Ksenia. Do you have any?
Yes, I have a few methods. I think one is, of course, tasty food can heal for
Yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Gym, sport, and learning English helps me a lot, like verbling.
Yeah. So verbling is a stress relief for you, Ksenia?
Yes,
Wow, I had to put that one in the
because
chat box.
in that moment I'm thinking about English only and nothing else.
Well, that is a good point. I guess what it sort of means then is it's a bit similar to what maybe it was Natasha was saying about playing a game. It sort of focuses your concentration and then you forget all your problems.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, there you go, guys. If you haven't joined Verbling before, come along. It's a great stress relieving technique. Thank you, Ksenia. Julian, hello.
Hi Amy, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm great, thank you. How are you doing?
Very good. And you?
So, let me ask you, Julian. Are you a person who gets stressed? Like, if you had to tell me, okay, how many stress overloads would you have during a normal week? How many would you say?
Uh, Sorry, I don't hear you. What your question?
You
You can
can't.
repeat, please?
Yeah, sure. So, my question is, if you had to tell me how many times you felt really, really stressed, or that you got a stress overload when you went, I feel really stressed. How many times per week would that happen to you?
No, but really is very rarely because maybe two or three times in a month.
Okay, so that's not too many
Uh,
times.
yes, yes, I try
Good.
to. Yes, very. I try to get cool everything in my life because it's more easy for me and for the others.
Yes, well, that's a good point. So you try to stay cool, not
Yeah.
cold, because cold is like this, right? Cool is
No,
like,
no, cool, no.
yeah. Okay, so you try to stay cool. Excellent. And what sort of things do you do to help you stay cool?
Make workouts in the
Okay.
morning,
Yeah.
maybe three times in the week,
Hmm.
and laugh with my friends, talk with my
Yeah.
friends, and um, walk for my work to my house.
Yeah.
Walk every maybe 30 minutes per day.
Okay, so that's good. It's like exercise, fresh air,
Yes,
gets you out and about.
yes,
All
and
right.
watch funny videos by YouTube, maybe.
Funny YouTube videos. That's a good one, and we haven't got it on there yet. So maybe if you walked for 30 minutes to Starbucks and while you were there you drank a coffee and watched YouTube videos, it would just be the perfect solution and you'd feel really happy and relaxed. All right. Thank you, Julian. Jean, hello. Are you there, Jean?
Yeah, sorry, I was in another browser. It take me a little get the right browser.
No
Um,
problem.
Basically, I work out. Um, walk my dog. Well, sometimes I prefer just watch TV or hear some podcasts. Something that basically distract my mind.
Yeah.
Yep. Or, for example, if it's something about my work, I'm trying to embrace instead to fight against the problem or the reason of my stress. Focus on what is the root of my problem or my stress.
Okay, and that's a really interesting one, Jean, because no one's really mentioned that yet. So you're saying instead of trying to fight it or maybe having resistance to it, you try to embrace it or directly face on and think, okay, why am I stressed about this? Maybe I can sort it out.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Thank you very much. Welcome to the class.
Welcome. Thank you.
Carolina with the kitty picture. Hello.
Hello, Amy. How are you?
Nice to see you again. I'm great, thanks. What kind of a person are you, Carolina? Are you an easily, do you get stressed easily and quickly?
No, teacher. I am, how can I say that, a Pacific person. So maybe I get stressed 1 or 2 times per month.
So not many. What did you say, Carolina? You're a Pacific person?
Yes, Pacific is the correct adjective. I don't know.
No, the Pacific is a word we use to describe the Pacific Ocean. And if you say you're a Pacific person, I quite like that idea, actually. It's not one I've heard before. Maybe it just means you like lying by the sea and, meditating or something.
Yes. That is the meaning.
Yeah,
like Pacific Ocean.
Perfectly. Let's add that one to Merriam-Webster dictionary. We'll write and tell them. All right, so instead of Pacific, maybe you could say just a peaceful person.
Peaceful.
That might be what you were aiming for.
Okay, peaceful. It's good.
All right.
Yeah.
You're a peaceful person, so you don't get stressed too often. What do you do if you do get stressed on those rare occasions?
Maybe I pamper to my kitty.
You pamper your kitty. Yep.
Yeah. And also eat chocolate, ice cream.
Chocolate ice cream.
And do exercise like walk or run or swimming. I like to go. I like to get into the ocean, for example, or into the pool.
Okay.
It's a good way to relax, to stress.
Yep.
And what else? Maybe do some kind of activities with my friends or my family, and also talk to them. Maybe they could help me to find the best solution for my problem. So
yes. In that kind of situation, Caroline, you'd probably say, and sometimes they help me, or sometimes they're able to help me. If you say maybe they can help me, it's like more of a suggestion, so it sounds a little bit funny. If you were asking me, like, Amy, maybe you could help me with this problem, then you can use maybe, but because you're describing like a background situation, better to say sometimes they're able to help me, or it's often they can help me, or something like that, okay?
Okay, teacher, thank you.
All right, lovely to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you, teacher.
Ahmed, last but not least.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Excellent. All right, Ahmed, tell us, do you have any stress-busting strategies that we haven't already mentioned?
I believe that anything that can take your concentration on your problem, it will work. Like
take your concentration off your problem, Ahmed. Take your concentration off your problem. Okay. I think you mean. You mean take your focus away to something else, or towards the problem? Which way?
yeah, to take your concentration away from the problem.
Okay. So we say off, all right?
Okay. Like talking with friends, running. I think these both techniques works with me.
Great. Awesome. A really, really good phrase to use in English is to take your mind off something. So sometimes, like, if you're sick or if you're stressed or something like that, your mum will say this to you. Oh, why don't we do this to take your mind off it? Or why don't we, watch TV for a bit and it will take your mind off the fact that you've got a cold and you feel awful or something like that. So thank you for mentioning that one, Ahmed. All right, so let's have a look at our article today. I'll give you the link there. I'm going to share it now if I can find it. Haha. Load again. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to read and see what this article says about restoring sanity to your day. If you have never been to one of my reading classes before, this is your chance to practice your pronunciation and your reading. So just take your time, and we'll pause after a paragraph or so that we can chat about it, ask about any of the new words, if there is anything that you don't understand, and then we'll discuss the points that they mentioned to see whether we agree with them or not. So, because you were last but not least, we'll start with you, Ahmed. Could you read this one for us?
Okay. It may seem counterintuitive, but it's during your most stressful, crisis-filled times that you most need to take regular breaks. We often view taking 10 as a bonus and an added reward on a slow day, and not the critical tool needed to get through the roughest of workloads.
Great. Thank you, Ahmed. A really lovely start. Well done. Okay, what does taking 10 mean? Does anyone know?
Maybe wait for a little time for a thing, for something.
Yes, that's right. You've got the right idea, Julian. This is a short version of saying taking a 10-minute break. So if you take 10 or take 5 or take 15, usually we only use them, to be honest, with take 10 and take 5. It means that you want to take a break of that number of minutes, okay? So if your boss says to you, okay guys, let's take 10, it means we're going to have a 10-minute break because we need a rest. Everyone's kind of getting stressed or stuck. Any other questions about that first paragraph?
Yeah, the meaning of counterintuitive.
Okay, good one. Can anyone explain what counterintuitive means? Okay, have you ever heard the word intuition? Trust your intuition, maybe, or what is your yeah? Can you explain what intuition is, Jean?
Well, it's like a feeling. It's not a rule, but is something that you feel that is wrong or something that will happen. It's based maybe sometimes in your experience.
Absolutely. It's really difficult to explain, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well done. Well done for that attempt. So yes, your intuition is like, sometimes in English we call it something similar to like your gut feeling, or what your stomach is telling you, or what your heart is telling you. It's like a feeling that you have. It's not necessarily really based on any kind of a fact. and it's not based on logic. It just is a sense or a feeling you have about something. If you use this prefix counter, it means something like against or opposite. So counterintuitive is like something that goes against your intuition or goes against what feels natural. So what it's saying is, although it may seem like it's really not natural, it's probably when you have the least amount of time to work with is when you actually do need to take a break, because you need to release your stress. All right, so let's continue reading. And Carolina, could you read "and" for leaders for us, please?
Okay. And for leaders who may say they have too much responsibility to take a break in the middle of an already full day, think again. Even the president schedules sacrosanct blocks of time daily. His morning workout and his family dinner are immovable. In a piece of Vanity Fair, Todd Purdum spent 24 hours following Barack Obama around on a normal day of work, and found that the president, even as his travel schedule picks up, he intends to be home for dinner as often as possible. It allows for a rare moment of perspective.
Brilliant. Lovely reading, Carolina. Well done. Thank you. Okay, any questions about vocabulary?
Sacrosanct?
Yeah, this one's probably a new one for most of you. It's not a very common word. But can anyone tell me what it might mean? Have a guess?
I don't know. Looks familiar, like I don't know actually if it's Spanish, but it's like something like it's holy. This.
Yes, exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, Jean. Yeah, it means like holy, very special, something that is too precious to be changed. It must stay the way it is. So his morning workout, the time that he sets aside for that, and his dinner are too holy or special to be changed. He doesn't allow people to move those times or have meetings during those times. Well done, John. Awesome. Any other words?
For me, no more.
Right. Okay, in that case, Jean, could you read "regardless," please?
Absolutely. Regardless of how you choose to spend it, and you will find multiple options for every kind of stress crunch below. Hitting the pause button for only 10 or 15 minutes can add value perspective to your situation. It gets you out of the fight or fight mode that an ad project an already full plate. A move-up deadline or even a co-worker conflict can push us in.
Thank you, Jean. This one here is added.
Added.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Okay, questions about this paragraph?
Perspective.
Perspective. Okay, what is your perspective?
It's like a point of view.
Yeah, exactly. Well done. It's your point of view. It's what things look like from where you are standing. There's a couple of little idiomatic kind of expressions in here. Anyone want to ask anything further?
Yes, what's the meaning of fight or fight?
Good question. It's maybe Julian. You have maybe quite a noisy background, or could be Masahiro. Yeah, thanks, guys. It's okay if you're talking, but if you're silent, please mute your mic. So does anyone want to explain what fight or flight means? Has anyone heard that before?
Something like face the problem or go away.
Yeah,
No?
exactly, Ksenia. Yep. It's kind of to do with like biology, I think. It's how animals and humans are set up to react to some kind of a threat or stress. So you have two options. You get sort of an adrenaline surge in your body. Adrenaline is that hormone that makes you feel kind of ready to do something. And if you can choose to fight your enemy or fight the problem, or you can choose to fly away or to run away, to flee, which is like the flight aspect of it. So you can either face your problem or you can run away. But you don't really want to be in this mode. You don't want to be feeling like this too long because it's a short-term thing. You need to move on from it. That's what it's saying. Any other questions?
I don't know. This stress crunch.
Stress crunch. Okay, well this is like a made-up term really, but you can kind of figure it out by knowing what stress and crunch mean. What is crunch? What does crunch mean?
Crunch means for example, hit something and break it down, breaking.
Yes, exactly, right? So a crunch can be like breaking something down. It could be chewing something, making something smaller. So basically a stress crunch is something that reduces stress, okay?
Okay, thank you.
No worries. The last one I just want to mention is it's quite common to say this in English. I don't know if you've heard this before. If you've got a full plate, what does it mean? It's quite self-explanatory, probably.
That you think that a lot of things in your hands?
Yeah, exactly, Carolina. It's like you've already got a lot on your schedule. It's talking about how much you have in your life, how many things you have to do. So if somebody asks you, you know, oh, Carolina, could you help me out with moving house on Saturday? You might say to them, oh, I'm really sorry, but I've got a really full plate at the moment. I don't have time to help you on Saturday. It just means that you have a lot of other things that you need to do. Right, Jean. Oh, you've already read. Sorry. Julian, at 99U.
19 we studied how countless marketers, entrepreneurs, leaders, and creatives are able to handle the intense workloads or schedules that often come with doing great work. And across the board, they each have a daily break, or multiple ones, that they project fiercely. Here are the best strategies we are learning from our past research for taming even most stressful and accident-filled workdays.
Great, well done. This word here is pronounced anxiety.
Anxiety.
Yeah, well done. Okay, any questions about that paragraph? No?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. I have a one. What is the meaning of countless markers?
Okay, so let's look at those words individually. So countless, what does countless mean? Does anyone know?
Cannot count.
Exactly. Right. You can't count. There's too many to count. Yep. Very good. Okay, a maker. What's a maker?
Developer or manufacturer.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. It just means somebody who makes something, right? So it's like in the list with entrepreneurs, leaders, creatives, makers, people who do creative and challenging jobs, basically. So let's carry on reading. And Ksenia, could you take the first part of number 1, please?
Yes. Avoid hunger and take an actual lunch break. It's easy to fall into the trap of the desk lunch. The logic seems sound. If I eat lunch at my desk and just walk through that lunch hour, I'll get more done overall today. And when the pressure is on, sometimes we feel like we can't even leave our desk to start with. Unfortunately, as Robert Person, author of Extreme Productivity, learned,
Keep
if you
going.
if you start with the notion that having a quick sandwich at your lunch is productive in the sense that it takes less time, that's true, the author says, but we don't want a hard and fast rule. We want a functional rule. The desk lunch efficiency might not be worth it, he says, if you could gain more from stepping away.
Lovely expression, Ksenia. Thank you. Okay, questions about number 1, part 1. No questions? Okay, let's carry on reading. Magdalena, that lunch break.
Okay, sorry, could you please tell me where is it? The
Yes,
time?
sorry, this one here.
Yeah, okay. That lunch break serves a large purpose than just getting food in your belly. It is a vital pause. Art Marquand, PhD author and professor of psychology at the University of Texas, explains. When you walk away from a problem and think about something else, your memory resets. The ideas that dominated your thinking recede from your thoughts. The memories that were inhibited before gradually become more accessible. If your thoughts return to the problem after a pause, those other memories now have a chance to influence your thinking.
Great, it's really beautiful. This part here, Carolina, should be the memories that were inhibited before gradually become more accessible. I know it's sometimes hard to read that when you're just finding out what it says for the first time. Well done.
Okay, thank you.
This word here is pronounced vital in English, okay?
Okay, vital.
Okay, any questions?
Yeah, recede.
Recede, good one. There it is. Anyone want to explain recede? Or would anyone like to guess?
Like locate?
Okay, yes, relocate, that is true, but it's a bit more specific than just relocate, Carolina. Which direction does it relocate?
In another direction?
Yes, that's right. So like in the opposite direction, it basically means to go backwards, to move backwards. So it's the idea that some ideas that were at the front of your mind go back, and other ideas can then come forward. Well done. Any other questions? No? Okay. Massa, the time at which you take a lunch.
Okay, the time at which you take a lunch, or even if you get one, not up to you. Try to institute the halt 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 rule within your team. Stop what you are doing, or move to a place where this state or emotion is not dominating you, and then make a decision. H. When you are hungry, your mind and metabolism do not work well. A. When you are angry, your mind is reactive, uh, crowd, crowded with irrational emotions. L. Uh, when you are lonely, you are needy and vulnerable. T. When you are tired, everything doesn't work well, often coupled with hungry. All of these variables can interconnect to create a danger zone for capable decision making.
Last bit.
It's always better to take a short break now than to regret decisions due to something preventable as hunger, anger from being hungry later on.
Thank you, Massa. So just a couple of ones. So this one here is metabolism. Metabolism.
Metabolism is mean get fat.
Yes, it is to do with either getting or not getting fat. Exactly. It's like the way the speed at which your body processes calories, I think. Hmm So if you're hungry, your metabolism isn't working well and your mind goes crazy, which I think we've probably all experienced. If you were wondering what hunger is from the beginning, we now know. This word is also pronounced like hanger, and it's something that you put your clothes on when you hang them in the closet or the wardrobe. But this article's made up a new word. I'm not sure if other people talk about this hanger, but I kind of like it because I've definitely experienced this myself. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, the meaning of irrational and
Rational.
vulnerable.
Vulnerable. Good words. Okay, first of all, I'm just trying to find a rational. Does anyone know what rational means? Oh, here we go. Irrational, sorry.
Is the
Well,
opposite to
of
rational?
rational. Thank you, John. What does what does rational mean then?
Mm, basically, that you need to use your knowledge, your brain, and made a decision or something.
Yes, exactly right. If you look at the word, it has this word ratio within it. And if you're rational, it basically means that you look at, you know, 2 apples and 2 oranges on the kitchen bench and you think, okay, there's 2 apples and 2 oranges, and that's 4 pieces of fruit that I have for lunch. If you're irrational, you might look at the fruit and say, oh, there's not enough fruit for 4 people. Be completely crazy, basically. It means that you can't put 2 and 2 together because you're distracted or you're not thinking clearly. What does vulnerable mean?
That's
Sorry.
Go ahead.
sorry.
Probably too vulnerable. Vulnerable means very easy to hurt.
Yes, well done, Massa. Great description. Easy to hurt. You can be hurt easily. It's like you open yourself up to receive hurt or criticism or something like that. So you get hurt more easily than normal. All right, so let's just have a brief chat about number 1. Has anyone ever experienced hunger or had some kind of a negative result from being hangry, maybe you could say?
Yes, of course.
Can you give us an example,
Yes, of
Ksenia?
course.
I have had these feelings from my childhood, and my mother always said, "You're so angry. I think you should eat something." So,
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely. I think I'm definitely the same as you there, Ksenia. If I'm hungry, that is it. I really can't do anything or think straight or whatever. So out of all of us in this class, how many people often eat lunch at their desk? They don't take a lunch break. Anyone want to admit it?
Sometimes I do that, but yes, it's not for because I have a lot of work. Sometimes the weather is not pretty good, and I used to bring lunch because I'm vegan, and it's hard to find restaurants with vegan.
Ah, okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but the reason is different, and if you are 110 degrees outside, it's almost impossible to go outside.
Right. So you don't stay there for too much work. It's more that you can't find food that you like and also the weather, right, Jean?
Mm-hmm.
just a little note, because this sometimes comes up. If you say pretty good, then that's perfectly normal and fine, and use positively, right? Something's pretty good. But you can't say not pretty good. You can only say not so good, or not very good, or no good. You can't say not pretty good, okay?
Okay, thank you.
No worries. Okay, anybody else eat lunch at their desk?
I do stuff
Yes.
sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, so who's that? Natasha. Tell us about that,
Yeah.
Natasha. Do you have a lot of work to get through?
Yes, as a rule, I have a lunch on my desk because as a rule, I have had a lot of work, and in this case, I always try to keep up my free time, and I always thought, oh, I do it very quickly, and I will have more time for doing my job. But maybe it's really don't. A very good idea, because in the end of my work day, I really very stressful and very tired, because on my break time I didn't go anywhere, and I all my time were on my workplace. It's bad. It's really bad.
Absolutely. So this kind of issue is a problem for you too, Natasha, by the sounds of things.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go on to point number 2. And Natasha, it's your turn to.
Okay.
Did you read? Yeah. Okay. Change locations.
Change locations, yes. Filling over helmet or lacking creative flow. A 2014 Stanford study says we should work it out. Stanford researchers found that working boosts creative inspiration. They examined creativity levels of people while they worked versus while they sat. A person's creative output increased by an average of 60% when working. Just make sure you are using it to actually take a break and not as a distraction. When your brain is completely overloaded and you need to take a lifetime out and hit the reset button, nothing will accomplish that better than logging some cleansing miles on foot solo. No phone, no headphones, no wallet. Lest you see something that you are distractedly tempted to buy. The lawn work is a therapeutic tool to not only power up your mind, but also to recharge its battery. If you
Beautiful. Let's stop
Okay.
just for a mo,
Okay,
Natasha.
okay.
There's a lot to take in. Well done. This one here is overwhelmed.
Okay, overwhelmed.
Excellent. Apart from that, really beautiful. Okay, questions about Natasha's section.
Yes, I have a one. Albert helmet. Where is made?
Overwhelmed?
See, overwhelmed.
So the H is silent in this word, Julian. So it's not overwhelmed, it's just overwhelmed. Imagine there's no H, okay?
Okay.
What does it mean? Does anyone know what overwhelmed means?
Yes, when your brain is stuck basically, and you have a lot of things, you are thinking a lot of different things at the same time, and for example, when you are trying to resolve a problem and you cannot resolve the problem and you cannot find a solution, you are overwhelmed. Basically, your brain is freezing.
Yes, that's right, Jean. There's a key point that you didn't emphasize quite enough for this one. It's like the idea that you're too full. You've like used up all of the space or capacity. So like, as you mentioned, you've got like too many problems or too many things to think about. It's so that you can't process or focus. Absolutely right. Okay, any other questions? No? Awesome. All right. In that case, let's read a little bit more. Is there anyone who would like to read?
Can I?
Yes, please.
If you can justify a quick stroll alone, walk into your daily tasks, take your meeting on your long walk with you, and you give your whole team a boost. A mist? A mist? All the different types of meeting in a workday, and in order to wrestle with all mental constraints we have to work with, e.g., perfectionism, anxiety, insecurity, etc. A simple 10-minute walk can do wonders for the mind, fresh air, a change in scenery.
Great. In scenery, Carolina.
Scenery.
Brilliant. Well done.
Scenery.
I know those ones are tricky for Spanish speakers, right? Starting a
Yes.
word with an S. But well done. Perfectly pronounced. Okay, any questions?
And no question.
No? Anyone else? You weren't sure about this one, I don't think, Carolina.
Yes, that word.
Does anyone know what amidst means? Or can anyone guess? No? Okay, amidst is like the same as saying amid or among. It's like inside when you're surrounded by something. If you're amidst the traffic, then you're surrounded by traffic. So in this case, you're surrounded by lots and lots of different meetings. Okay, anyone else like to read?
Teacher, I don't know about wrestle.
Wrestle.
Wait.
Wrestle. This one?
Yeah,
Wrestle.
with. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, what is wrestling?
Yeah, wrestling. Yeah.
You know what wrestling is, yeah?
Yeah.
So to wrestle is like the infinitive of wrestling. Okay? It's like where you're like fighting really. Pushing against something, okay?
Okay. So, can I say I'm wrestle with someone or
Yes, you can say I'm wrestling. I'm wrestling with somebody. That could mean that you're, with your t-shirt off trying to push them onto the ground. Or it could mean that you're doing that kind of thing, but in a figurative sense, like you're struggling against them in some other way, okay?
Okay, I think you got it.
Great. Okay. So we're just going to finish off number 2. We've just got enough time. Anyone want to read it for us?
I will try.
Thank you, Jean.
Surprise bonus. You can also schedule the walk-in meeting to end in a brainstorming session at a nearby bar. As James Victor advised us, I would come into the studio and work during the day. Afterwards, at 4 or 5 o'clock, I'd go to my bar, sit with a beer or two, and refine it or write on a new idea. So I became this really nice process of every day, and it became a habit. I can do the thing work in the studio. The studios for putting stuff together for work. And if we're not doing work, then we leave. How many great architectures ideas have been drawing on napkins because they're free. They're not things about work.
Thanks, John. Yes, well done. Excellent reading. This one here is nearby, not nearby. Okay, nearby.
Yeah, sorry, nearby.
Great. Okay, questions about this last part? No?
Yes, I have a one. Napkins. What is napkins?
He knows. Anyone want to
Yes,
guess? Yeah, go ahead.
it's a piece of software or paper. We usually use it after eating to clean our mouths.
Yes, that's a napkin, yes. But what do they mean when they're talking about this, Ksenia? Work, work. What's work, work? Any idea?
I think is the meaning in this context is when you are like in the place that you're supposed to work, performing work, working at work or something like that.
Yes, you're getting very close, John. It's a little bit difficult to explain, but you're right. So, because we're talking about a creative job here, what it's trying to differentiate between is like the creative part of the work, which is like thinking of ideas or like imagining things perhaps, and then the other side of the work, which is actually sitting down doing what you would traditionally have to do as work, which might be like writing an invoice or drawing up a plan or something actually work, very focused on work rather than the thinking aspect of it. Which is why why they use work as an adjective for work. It's a little bit confusing, but hopefully you understand that. Does anyone, before we finish today, does anyone have a really creative job here?
Yeah, I have.
What's your job, Magdalena?
Yeah, I work as a graphic designer.
Okay, so do you understand the difference between work, work, and the other things?
Yeah, I think I don't know if I understand it clearly, but I think I understand the meaning just.
The general gist of it.
Yeah, general.
So what do you do if you get like stuck with your creative flow? Do you find that walking or like having a break helps you?
Yeah, I think it definitely helps you to go for a walk and just do some stretching sometimes, or go and do some fitness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and talking to some people, and also sometimes ideas come to my mind when I'm eating or just doing something else.
Yeah. All right, so it's interesting. I think when you have it's difficult to do a creative job from that point of view, because if you are tired or distracted by something in your personal life, it's very difficult, I imagine, to be creative. You can't kind of force yourself to do it. There's no point sitting down at a desk and going, right, I'm going to design a logo, and then you can't think of any ideas, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
So maybe this post is really, really useful for you, Magdalena, in particular. I hope so.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, well, good luck with any creative blocks that you get this week. Hopefully none. And if you're interested in reading the other 2 points, it's a great article. Carry on reading. If you do have any questions, you're very welcome to go to Facebook and type me a message or make a comment and ask me about that. I hope that you've got some useful tips out of this class. I certainly have. Thank you for sharing your advice. And I hope you have a really great day. See you later, guys.
You too.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.
Relax my stress.
Yes.
If I get a lot of stress, I usually go to Starbucks and and drink a very very sweet something.
Something from Starbucks. I love it. What a
Yeah.
great idea, Master. Do you live near a Starbucks?
Actually, I came to the U.S. San Diego two years ago. So there are lots of Starbucks around my house. So
Right, so you live in the US, therefore Starbucks is easily accessible to you.
yeah, that's right. So I'm really easy to relieve my stress.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing your tip with us. If anyone else lives near a Starbucks and you haven't tried this before, maybe it's worth a try.
Thank
Welcome,
you.
Massa.
You're welcome.
Hello also to Magdalena.
Hello, nice to see you.
Hello, Magdalena. Have I met you before?
Yes, once.
Once. All right. Forgive me. I'm sorry. It's hard to remember when you don't have a
Okay, no,
picture.
no problem. Yeah,
Where
of
are you
course.
from, Magdalena?
Yeah, I'm from Poland.
Ah, I remember you now. Yes. Okay, got it.
Really?
Yes, I do. I do. So do you get easily slips and watch the introductory video and find out a little bit more about all of us? So do head over to the teacher page if you've never done that before. If you're a Facebook person, you might want to follow some of the teachers on Facebook. I'm sharing my Facebook page with you now. And it's maybe a good way if you are constantly on Facebook to keep your mind on English and remind you, or any of the other languages that you're learning on Verbling, to keep on track. So, let's say hello and see who we have this morning or this evening to talk about restoring sanity. So, let's say first of all hello to Virgilio. Hello. Are you there, Virgilio?
Hello, how are you?
Hi, lovely to see you. I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Excellent. Virgilio, do you find that you get stressed easily during your daily life?
Not too much. I try to keep calm and face the problems with calm, you know.
Mm-hmm.
With yeah. So I try not to get nervous.
All right. So you are generally quite good at coping with stressful situations when they do happen.
I think so.
Excellent. That's good to hear. Good to have you in the class. Hopefully you can share some of your techniques with us, Virgilio.
Thank you.
Welcome. Lovely to have you. Natasha, hello. Welcome.
Hello, Amy. Hello, guys. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too, Natasha. Tell me, Natasha, have you had any particularly stressful moments in your days over the past week or so that you can remember?
Yes, sadly, I have had really a lot of sad days because I have very yes, I think that it's important job, and I sometimes I need have conversation with a lot of people, but everyone very different. Sometimes we have had a really stressful situation, and after that I really need to restore sanity.
Yeah. Yes, I think that's true. We often need to find a way of getting out of your stress. Do you have any good techniques that you use yourself, Natasha?
No, no, I couldn't say so because sometimes after such situation I need to have a restore, and at this time I like to drink a cup of tea or coffee and have a good conversation with my friend on my job as well. On the other hand, sometimes I
Hello everybody and welcome to this Verbling class. Today's class is a reading and speaking class and it's called How to Restore Sanity to Your Day. So it's talking basically about those moments in your day at work or maybe at home where you get really, really stressed. How do you overcome them? What do you do? And is there a way that you can get through them? So we're going to read an article to practice our pronunciation, to learn some new words. And then we're also going to discuss the techniques that we read about, but also discuss our own advice and techniques for these kind of things. So if you would like to join us, you're very welcome to come along in. And while we're waiting for everybody, if you're new to verbling, or perhaps if you've been here a while but you just don't know everything yet, I'm going to share with you a couple of pages that you can go and check out during your coffee break, just which give you a little bit more information about me. All of the verbling teachers have this page. It's called a verbling teacher page, and basically it's where you can go if you would like to find out more about any of the teachers. If you're interested in attending more of our classes, you can see our schedule. If you're interested in having a private tutoring sessions, which is when you spend time just one-on-one with the teacher, and you can focus on everything that you want to focus on rather than a class atmosphere, then you can also see the schedule of the teacher on their verbling teacher page and book a class directly from there. And also you can have a look at some class.
Can use internet game. It's a very stupid game, but I like it because in this moment my mind like blank.
Yes, your mind just goes blank and you don't have to think about anything, right?
Yeah. And it's really helped me because after that I have a little bit fresh mind, and I have the opportunity to look at the situation other eyes and with a fresh mind.
Good point. Wow, that's 3 tips already, Natasha. Thank you. I'm typing them in the chat box today. So if you're desperate for techniques, then you might want to try out some of these. I definitely have to agree that a cup of tea is one of my absolute favourites. I am English though, so probably biased towards tea. All right, welcome, Natasha. Lovely to have you.
Thank you.
Let us say hello to Masahiro. Masahiro?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello,
I'm
lovely to
Masahiro
meet you. Masahiro.
from Japan, Tokyo.
I was wondering if your name was Japanese. It looked a little bit Japanese. It's lovely to meet you.
You feel probably too long for Japanese name, so please,
yeah.
please tell me just Masa.
Okay, Masa. Well, that makes it a lot easier for me. Thank you, Masa. So tell us about yourself, Masa. What do you do?
About really